Starting it. Okay. Jahiz?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, it's connecting the setting it up.
it's okay.
Sorry.
Give it another minute, please. I want to see. I want to make sure the Jenin people join. They are
Mhm.
getting this. Yeah, they're getting this. Where should they press? For let me share it with you. This is what they're getting. So they just need to press at the end. There is join us. Yeah, I
Where'd you
sent it.
send it?
I just sent it to the WhatsApp, the founding thing.
Check the email. They have to go to the email.
That's their email. That's what they got in the email. So just press on it or what?
No, they have to check their email. They didn't get that on the email. Send them. How'd you find it? The link.
How did they send it? Yeah,
Zoom, right?
yeah.
Hi, Karama.
Rama is here. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm just gonna mute myself and remove my camera until I'm in a good place.
Mashi, Mashi. All right, let's get. Should we start or should we keep troubleshooting?
Uh,
Janine, let's try to. I mean, they're almost
What-
trying to get in, right?
I think you
They're
should
trying.
start because it's 12:06.
Okay. Yalla.
Ribhi, do you have anyone trying to come in?
No. Oh, here. Hi, Mai.
Who's this?
Hello.
Mais?
That's my or Maysa
Min Janine.
from Geneva.
No, it's not.
From Jenin, yeah?
انت muted May. So
ميسا انت ميوتد شيل افتح المايك الله يخليك والكاميرا اذا بتقدري كمان.
اوكي
okay.
alright.
سامع.
كيف الحال؟
هاي كيفكم شو الأخبار؟
الله يخليك الحمد لله.
أنا متأسفة كتير مش عارفة ليش ما لقط بسرعة يعني مش عارفة.
مش مشكلة المهم اتظبط هلا.
مش مشكلة.
هلا we have to start, okay? عشان
يلا
تأخرنا
start
شوي.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, يلا.
Yeah.
يلا.
Okay. Did we start Ribhi? Okay.
Started.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly webinar for Doctors Against Genocide. My name is Dr. Nidal Jabour. I'm the co-founder of Doctors Against Genocide. We have Dr. Karama Hawash Kamerli on with us also. She's in the car, so she will be just listening and join us soon. We have Ribhi, one of the founding team members. He is our master with technology and IT, and he's the one who's helping set up the whole thing. Today, we have a few things to cover. We have colleagues in Gaza who have been in Gaza for the last 2 weeks on a medical mission with a joint mission between Rahma Worldwide and Doctors Against Genocide. We have the Colorado Doctors Against Genocide chapter head, Dr. Muhammad Kuzais. He's there. I think many of you have heard the unfortunate news that this team, about a dozen of doctors, mostly U.S. doctors, have been banned from leaving Gaza and coming back to the U.S. To see their patients and their scheduled surgeries there. The situation is still unresolved. We're trying to hear from our colleague, Dr. Muhammad. Hopefully, he will be able to join us soon. Then we have the most volatile situation in Palestine now in Jenin, in the West Bank. As we said, we all welcome the ceasefire, and it does give our people in Gaza some relief, but the genocide did not stop yet, and Israel did not stop committing the genocide and did not even give the Palestinians a minute to breathe. They are attacking Jenin camp. They are attacking the civilians there. They are attacking the hospitals. We have our friends and colleagues from Jenin hospitals who are here with us, and more of them are gonna be joining while we speak. Then we have the Doctors Against Genocide delegation to Geneva. That is a part of an international and global healthcare worker action at Geneva in front of the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and the International Red Cross to pressure these organizations to protect hospitals, to protect children, to protect healthcare workers. Two of our Doctors Against Genocide members are already there. We have Maisa and Dr. Adla. Both of them are going to be joining us also from on the ground in Geneva to update us on what's happening there. Since we have our colleague from Jenin, Maisa, is here. Mais, she will be speaking in Arabic. We will be translating. We are translating in English because we want to make it easier for people to understand what is happening, not because it's
Yes.
better than Arabic. We think there is more truth in Arabic. We think Arabic is a more native language. English is the language of the empire. It has been the language of colonialism, and as of late has become the language of genocide. If you don't speak fluent English, if you are not white, if you don't have blue eyes, then your truth does not count as much, and we refuse this. If you don't speak fluent English, then your life is not worth as much, and we refuse this. In this sense, English has become the language and a tool of genocide, and we much more appreciate Arabic and any Latin language over English. The only reason we are translating to English is to make it easier for the audience, but we do urge everyone to start learning native languages, Arabic, Urdu, Zulu, because the language of the genocide is not something that we should all continue to be hooked on. But let me start with ميس. كيف حالك ميس؟
أهلا وسهلا، كيفكم أنتوا؟
الحمد لله احنا بألف خير. احنا أطباء ضد الإبادة، جمعية اسمها أطباء ضد الإبادة، جمعية في أمريكا،
أهلا وسهلا.
وإحنا بهمنا نطمن عليكم وعلى أخباركم.
والله إحنا أخبارنا يعني للأسف سيئة جدا.
عارفين بحالك
إحنا
ميس، عارفين بحالك لو سمحت بالأول.
أنا ميسة الأسير، أنا بشتغل، أنا صاحبة مستشفى، هو مستشفى خاص وليس بخاص. ليش؟ لأنه من 70 سنة انعمل هذا المستشفى لكل الناس، للناس في جنين. هو من أقدم المستشفيات اللي موجودة في شمال فلسطين، فكتير قدم خدمات للبلد، ولحد هلأ ولحد بكرة بيقدم عن طريق اللي أسسه اللي هو دكتور خالد مطيع الأسير. هذا الدكتور كان أول دكتور في شمال فلسطين، كان يعالج كل إشي، كان يولد، يعمل عمليات، يعمل كل إشي. عام 1948.
طيب ماشي، خلينا أترجم الله يخليكي
أوكي.
عشان يسمعوا وبعدين نرجع لك. So
أوكي.
she is the chief of Al Shifa Hospital in Jenin. She's saying that this is the first hospital that was established in Jenin. She's the manager there. This hospital has been there even before the 48. Her father and grandfather were the founders of that hospital. And she's going to update us on the situation on the ground in Jenin now as we speak. أخت ميس، كيف الوضع في جنين هلا؟ شو اللي بصير هلا؟ ممكن تحكي لنا؟
الوضع هلأ حرب، يعني اللي كان يصير في غزة واللي كنا نسمعه في غزة هلأ عم بيصير في جنين. البيوت عم تتهدد. ألو؟ البيوت عم بهدوا، كل بيت فاضي بلاقوه بهدوه، الشوارع عم بجرفوها، عم بنسفوا البنية التحتية في مدينة جنين من شوارعها كلهم. احنا مستشفانا
لحظة شوي الله.
اوكي.
So our colleague Mace is saying that the situation in Jenin is exactly the same as it was happening in Gaza. The Israeli genocidal forces are deliberately attacking everything in Jenin and the Jenin camp. They are attacking all the civilian infrastructure. They're destroying everything. They're destroying the streets. They're destroying the water infrastructure. They're attacking the hospitals. تفضلي يا ست ميس.
بهمهم، مش هاممهم هون في مستشفى، هون في مدرسة، هون في أطفال. عم بيحاولوا يدمروا البنية التحتية في مدينة جنين. صدقني دكتور، جنين عم يعني هلأ لو بدهم يجوا يبنوها من جديد بدها يمكن فترة طويلة لترجع جنين اللي كانت قبل. كل بيت
So she's saying that it is a genocide in Jenin now. They are attacking everything and everyone, regardless if they're children, if they're civilian, if they're healthcare workers. Actually, I was talking with our colleagues in Jenin an hour ago, and one of the doctors was shot there
صحيح
in front of the
صحيح.
hospital. He has 2 bullets, one to his leg, one to his arm. He's in the hospital now recovering. Alhamdulillah, he made it. But again, we know the attack on the hospitals is deliberate. The infrastructure is deliberate to make life much harder as part of their ongoing genocide campaign. تفضلي.
لحد الآن دكتور في عنا 14 14 شهيد موجودين في ثلاجة المستشفى، مش عارفين يطلعوا أهاليهم يدفنوهم. زائد طفلة امبارح قاعدة في حضن إمها 2.5 سنين، إجاها رصاصة في راسها، وللأسف اليوم كانت متوفية شهيدة.
So she's saying that yesterday the Israeli genocidal forces murdered a 2-year-old child while she was in her mother's lap in their home. There's a total of 14 murders in Jenin in the last few days. They're all still in the hospital. They're not giving their families the chance to bury them. Everything is on lockdown. Anything that moves in Jenin is being a target, and they're really very worried about the unfolding situation there. تفضلي.
دمروا الشوارع اللي بتوصل للمستشفيات، اللي هو الشارع اللي بوصل لمستشفى الشفاء اللي هو إحنا، زائد مستشفى الحكومي لأنه بودي هذا الشارع على المخيم. فبيلاحقوا الإسعاف، أي سيارة إسعاف بتمرق بتخوا عليها. واليوم بعتنا لكم فيديو، ما بيقدر أي مريض يوصل لإلنا أو لمستشفى الحكومي بسبب الطخ العشوائي وبسبب الطرق المدمرة.
So they destroyed all the streets. They are shooting at everything that moves. That's why people are not able to evacuate the injured people, take them to the hospitals. No one is able to move in Jenin at all. تفضلي.
يعني امها للبنت الصغيره الطفله اللي امبارح استشهدت بتقول توفت الطفله وهم مش قادرين يوصلوا للمستشفى. توفت بالسياره لانه من بيتهم للمستشفى اخذت ساعه او ساعه ونص، فنزفت كتير وما قدرت توصل للمستشفى، فللاسف اضطرت تتوفى بالسياره على ايدين امها.
The 2-year-old child who was shot yesterday, her family tried to take her to the hospital. The hospital is only a few minutes away, but because of the Israeli army is not allowing anything to move, they were in the car for almost 2 hours. The child bled to death while her family were holding her in the car, and she did not make it to the hospital, and she died in the car while they're trying to take her for treatment. تفضلي.
يعني دكتور هلا المستشفيات سواء هلا لو يا ريت تقدروا تسمعوا الاصوات اللي بنسمعها. هلا المستشفيات في جنين بنقصها المواد الطبيه، كل المواد الطبيه خلصت، مش عارفين نجيب غيرها. فيش غذاء للناس. يعني انا مثلا مستضيفه مجموعه كبيره من الصحفيين الموجودين بغطوا الحدث، زائد ناس دكتور مش عارفين يوصلوا لبيوتهم. اضطرينا احنا مستشفى الشفاء نحتضنهم عنا بالمستشفى، فهم موجودين عنا بالمستشفى نايمين قاعدين ماكلين مش عارفين يرجعوا لبيوتهم.
So it's exactly they are doing the same scenario in Jenin like they did in Gaza. The hospitals lack supplies. They don't have supplies. They don't have food. People have been locked down for a few weeks there. Many of them are not able even to make it to their homes. So there's severe
للأسف نفس النهج.
تفضلي. خالد.
بقول هو
الأخ خالد أنت بجنين ولا وين؟
أنا بأمريكا.
أهلين خالد، كيف حالك؟
اهلا فيك. تمام الحمد لله. اهلا حكيم.
أهلين. Dr. Khalid Al-Asir is also a Palestinian doctor from Jenin. He's currently in the United States for training. His family actually, is Mais your sister?
She's my mom.
Oh, Mais. Okay, sorry. Oh, mashallah, she looks younger. So,
I didn't
Dr.
want to
Khalid.
say that
I'm so happy دكتور. I'm so
والله
happy.
شكلك أخته، برافو عليكي. This just proves that
Thank you, thank you.
Palestinian people, the ones from Jenin, are tough, are resilient. Nice is Dr. Khalid's mom. I thought she was his sister. I still believe she looks like his sister. And
I was
could prove to Trump that the Palestinians have roots. Palestinians are strong. Palestinians are tough. We are not cattle. We are not a commodity that he can move us around here and there. The fact that the American people don't have roots, that America does not have roots, that America was built on genocide, does not mean that they need to object this and project this on the Palestinians. We are people who have deep roots. We are very rooted in our land. We care about our land. We are not a commodity for any president in the West or in the East to come and say, let's move the Palestinians here and there. We are the ones who make the decisions, not Trump, not his administration. And our people in Jenin, our people in Gaza, in Nablus, in Heb el Khalil, everyone is a living testament of this. تفضل Dr. Khalid, what do you want to say?
yeah. 4 days ago, we had a pregnant woman that wanted to that had her labor. So 2 doctors, a pediatrician and the gynecologist, were coming to do the surgery. The gynecologist, called Dr. Nader Rashid, was shot by a sniper in his car while he was driving. And he was shot in his hand, in his arm, and he had good luck
Can you fix
that
your connection?
they
It's breaking
couldn't
up a
have
little bit.
any sight after he was shot. He drove so quick and he ran away. Okay.
Where is this doctor now?
Is it good now, the status?
It's still there's some glitch there.
Okay. Now is it good?
Yes, it's better now.
Now it's better. Okay. So we had a pregnant patient coming to have labor, to get her baby, and the gynecologist, that is called Dr. Nader Rashid, was on his way to the hospital, and he was shot by a sniper while he was driving.
Wow.
While he was driving, he was shot in his in his arm, and when he was shot, the glass was broken. So much blood. He drove so quick. So it was a good luck for him that no sight for the soldiers. So he ran away, but he couldn't come because he had his arm shot by a sniper, which is a very big bullet. The pediatric surgeon was shot, also shot. He was another place. He was coming. He was shot in his arm and his leg. And now he is a patient.
So we have 2 doctors who have been shot in the last
Yes.
few days in Jenin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That
2
is a
doctors,
deliberate
two
attack on the
specialists.
healthcare system because they know that is part of the genocide. Once you destroy the healthcare system, the hospitals, people lose hope, and it's easier to move them around, get rid of them. This is also part of the mission of Doctors Against Genocide and our insistence that healthcare system, hospitals, healthcare workers should be sacred. They should never be a target under any excuse. And while they were making excuses in Gaza for all kinds of false excuses, they are doing the same thing now in Jenin. Doctors who are coming out of the OR, going to do surgery, they are shooting them deliberately and on purpose, without even trying to make up excuses now, because they are explicitly genocidal, as we heard from their minister, Smotrich and Ben Gvir. They are saying that we want to do to Jenin and to the West Bank exactly what we did in Naples. They are not even shy about it. They are not even trying to hide it anymore. This is part of the genocidal campaign that Israel has been perpetrating in the last 15 months, and before that for the last century, with full support from the United States and the complicit Western nations. Do we have Nida? Nida is from Jenin also?
Yeah.
Nida, are you there? She might not have a good connection.
هي النت ضعيف في جنين عشانهم يعني عاملين يعني في كل شيء مدمر فالنت والكهرباء كتير ضعيفة هون.
Okay, the same thing they're doing in Jenin like they did in Gaza, which is also not
Yeah.
good internet.
دكتور
تفضلي.
بدي أنا ليث، إذا ليث أنت معنا؟ ليث، لأنه دكتور في من الشهداء اللي
One second. Leif raised his hand. I think Leif is in. I'm going to add you as a panelist. Sorry. إجا ليث.
ليث
موجود.
ليث إذا بتحب تحكي إشي، لأنه ليث بيشتغل مع
لا.
المرضى ومع الأطباء. تفضل.
هيو إجا. استنى. هو بالبانلست بس
سامعني
بده.
ليث؟
ليث
شيل
تفضل.
المايك الله يخليك، ميوتد. افتح المايك عشان احكي معك. ايوه
طبعا.
نعم، هلا سامعينك وشايفينك. كيفك ليث؟
تفضل.
يعطيكم العافية جميعا.
الله يخليك. انا اسمي نضال الجبور، انا دكتور طبيب فلسطيني في امريكا، من مؤسسين مؤسسة اطباء ضد الابادة. تشرفنا فيك اخ ليث. ممكن تعرفني بحالك لو سمحت؟ No, I cannot hear you. You are muted. بس شيل
ثواني.
بس
سامعني
هلا سامعك تفضل.
أوكي. يعطيكم العافية جميعا.
اهلا وسهلا.
تشرفت فيك حضرتك دكتوري، وتشرفت بالجميع. أنا ليث سبعني، مسؤول قسم العمليات في مستشفى الشفاء الجراحي. للأمانة
لو سمحت أخ ليث. So Mr. Laith Sabani, he is the head of the operation, the OR room at Shifa Hospital in Jenin. تفضل.
طبعا اللي حكاه الدكتور خالد الأسير بالإضافة للدكتورة ميساء ما بقدر أضيف عليه كثير، باستثناء إنه الوضع اللي حاليا بصير في جنين مأساوي جدا. للأمانة ما في إنسانية نهائيا. هذا الإشي تعودنا عليه، ما بقل عن اللي بصير بغزة صراحة. إحنا كمستشفى، أنا حاليا مناوب إلي 3 أيام مش عارف أروح على بيتي على أولادي. بالإضافة غير هيك العمليات اللي بتيجينا الطارئة، لدرجة أول يوم اجتياح من تقريبا من 5 أيام انصاب عندنا باب المستشفى أحد المصابين، واحنا بنحاول ننشله من الشارع، كان علينا اطلاق نار.
صحيح.
حاولنا ننشله، كان علينا اطلاق نار.
خلينا نترجم هذول. So Mr. Sabani is saying that the situation in Jenin and in Jenin hospital is very catastrophic. There is complete disregard for human life, for humanity. They are shooting and attacking everyone. He himself has been on call for the last 3 days. He's not even able to leave the hospital to go to his home and his family. They have been receiving multiple injuries through the last week or so. تفضل أستاذ ليث.
بالإضافة أنا يمكن أم خالد ودكتور خالد حكوا عن مجمل جنين. أنا بقدر أحكي لك عن المستشفى اللي أنا بداوم فيه حاليا، لأني ما طلعت من المستشفى. إحنا كمستشفى حاليا يعني كهرباء على الماتور، للأمان ما في كهرباء نهائيا. مستلزمات طبية، خيطان عندي في العمليات ما ضل عندي شيء أشتغل فيه. أدوات تخدير ما في عندي. بالإضافة لأكل للمرضى، المرافقين المرضى حاليا مش موجود. مياه كمان مش موجود. فحاليا احنا الوضع اللي انا بحكي لك عن مستشفى الشفاء الجراحي حاليا وضع مأساوي. دبابات الاحتلال.
So the situation at the Shifa hospital, one of the hospitals in Jenin now, again is very catastrophic. They are running out of medical supply. They are running out of anesthesia. They don't have any electricity. They're using a temporary and unreliable generator. And it's the same textbook of genocide that Israel committed in Gaza. They are doing it again in Jenin. And he is afraid that they are going to be start doing surgeries on people without anesthesia and without medications. تفضل.
صحيح. بالإضافة إلى ذلك يعني إحنا حاليا على باب المستشفى دبابات الاحتلال واقفة على باب المستشفى، اللي بيطلع راسه مباشرة بخنصوه، ما بيرحمه، ما مرافق مريض دكتور تمريض، أي بني آدم بيطلع بوجوههم بخنصوه. فللأمان الوضع
now they are all inside the hospital. They are locked inside the hospital. Anyone who attempts to just put their head outside the hospital or move at the front of the hospital gets shot. So they are under siege and they are blockaded inside their hospital. Not a patient, not a visitor, not a healthcare worker is able to move a step outside the hospital. Go ahead.
اوكي. فالمجمل وباختصار انا بحكي لك باختصار، لو بدي احكي لك تفاصيل يعني ما بخلص من هون لبكره. انا بحكي لك بوضع عام باختصار صراحه. فالوضع جدا سيء. نتمنى من ربنا ان تنحل هاي المشكله، يصير ضغط عالمي على الوضع اللي بيصير حاليا في جنين. وهذا اللي بقدر احكي لك اياه بشكل عام صراحه. وشكرا جزيلا.
Thank you. شكرا لك. Our people and colleagues in Gaza are appealing to all of us.
حاليا ندى كان النت عندها لو سمحت. نداء عفوا كان النت عندها فاصل وهسه رجعت لي بعثت لي رساله انها حاليا موجوده اذا بتحب تحكوا معنا.
Yeah, طبعا هلا بحكي معها. So Mr. Laith and our colleagues in Jenin are appealing to us, to the whole world, to stop this genocide that's been committed in Jenin. They are asking us to appeal to the international community to protect the hospital, to protect the civilians, protect the healthcare workers in Jenin. And they are thanking all of you for being here. And whatever we do, I know we cannot do enough for our people who are victims of this genocide that Israel is committing, that we are paying with our money and our taxes. And our consecutive administrations unfortunately continue to support it. And we heard that President Trump yesterday gave Israel more 2,000 pounds to kill more children and civilians. This is for every American to know that their money, their hard-earned money, their tax money is being used in the mass murder of children. I don't think this is something that any American should be proud of. I don't think this is something that any American should agree to. We should keep our voices loud and make it even louder. This is a genocide being committed in our names as Americans, as hardworking people, to mass murder children. And we refuse this to be committed at all, and not in our name, not with our money, not with our taxes. There are so many things that we can do with our hard-earned money and taxes here in the States to take care of the American people, the American children, the inner cities, the homeless. And even if we want to send money outside of the United States, anywhere in the world, we should be using it for good causes, to help the poor, to help the weak, to help the victims, not to mass slaughter children. Americans, wake up. America has become a country that mass murder children. If you agree to this, then continue your silence and your complicity. If you disagree to be called a child murderer, then you need to speak up now, louder than before. Thank you. Then we have Nida. Is Nida here?
Nada.
Nada?
Nada. Nada.
Nada with you, or she's on a separate line? It's okay. We can come back. We can come back to Nada when she's available. بنرجع لها لما تفضى. مش مشكلة. احنا موجودين.
Okay.
We're gonna go. Maisa, are you available, Maisa?
Yes.
No, we have another Maisa. Maisa from Geneva. We have our team in Geneva, Doctors Against Genocide team. We have Dr. Adla. We have Dr. Maisa. They're gonna give us some updates on the global healthcare and white tent action in Geneva. So thank you, Maisa. Thank you, Adla, for being there, for representing DAG. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for advocating for humanity. Thank you for advocating to protect the healthcare workers and to protect the children of the world. And thank you for not staying silent like the majority of the Western people and Western governments who agree, whether they like it or not, that their money, their countries, their weapons, their most lethal weapons in the world are being used to mass murder children. Thank you. Go ahead, Mason and Adla.
مرحبا السلام عليكم يا أهلنا في جنين طبعا كل قلبنا معكم ونحن هون في جنيفا
أهلا.
رح أقلب للإنجليزي معلش تحملونا عشان عنا الأودينس بيحكي إنجليزي بجنيفا في مجموعة من الأطباء والعاملين الصحة healthcare workers and doctors formed a group and we all joined forces. DAC طبعا is represented by Adla, myself, Dr. Jbour and Dr. Kimmerly are going to be joining us as well. And the whole point of the action is to mobilize the global healthcare workers around the world to call for an end of genocide. And we have a list of demands that we all shared. So the group had representation from the United States, from Canada, from Europe, from Italy, from the UK, Ireland, Spain, from Geneva. And I have to say that the team in Geneva spent a lot of effort to make this event a success. Basically, we met the last 2 days in front of the United Nations building. We spent the day sharing stories, experiences. We had speeches from different representation. And the whole idea is to come out of those 4 days with clear and tangible action. With regards to Doctors Against Genocide, طبعا we shared, our mission and how we were able to start, with very small number of healthcare workers, and now we have thousands of members worldwide. And it's encouraging to see that, from a small movement to where we are today, there was a lot of curiosity about the Doctors Against Genocide lessons. And there's a lot of interest in joining the movement worldwide. So we were able to form coalitions and have conversations with other healthcare workers, specifically from Europe, to explore what that looks like for us to move forward. But the main point we were driving through those days is that we have a short window of opportunity now that, there is the ceasefire. And we need to push for accountability. We need to push for presence of healthcare workers to not only support, from an AIDS perspective, but also from accountability, fact-finding, and really creating a role for the healthcare workers in stopping genocide moving forward. Like that.
Thank you, Maisa. Where are your quotes? Where are your Doctors Against Genocide quotes?
I know, right?
Please put them on, please. I mean, I don't. Oh, okay, perfect. Go ahead, Dr. Adla.
No, I was just going to second what Mesa said. I thought it was very good in the sense also of trying to build alliances with these other groups to unify.
Can you introduce yourself, Dr. Adla, please?
I apologize. I'm Dr. Adla Sukkar. I'm a pulmonary and critical care physician in Virginia in the United States, Syrian American, married to a physician from Gaza. So I think, it was a very useful in terms of alliance building and in terms of very, like Mesa was saying, very tangible actions that we can take and a clear plan for the future. So I think that the people that were in attendance were very happy for the direction and for the looking for leadership and direction. And I think that DAG was able to very clearly elucidate our plan, and it was well received.
Thank you, Dr. Adla. And I know you had a press conference today. Both of you spoke at the press conference for the global white tent action. And I think you shared also some of the news about your family in Gaza. If you don't mind, if you want to share with us anything update about your family in Gaza, please.
Yeah, I mean, I reiterated this, some of the stories that I've told before, so to humanize everything. My husband's family, between the two branches of the family on his mother's side and his father's side, we're at over 200 of his family that have been murdered, and that's just by direct killing. We had as recently as October 11 children in a building that was leveled in Khan Yunis. And just this morning we had family from the north who sent me photographs of كل إشي, يعني there's nothing left. So no homes to go back to. The desalination plant is totally destroyed. Water tanks, and nothing is left. And so, I think it's important for us, sometimes I hesitate in telling some of these stories at these big forums because I feel like people have heard it before, but I think it's important, Mason and I were talking about this, that it's important to continue to share our stories and to really make people understand that hatta there's a ceasefire that's been called. It's not over. This is not over. And even if not another person dies by a bombing or by a sniper bullet or by anything else, the infrastructure, the mechanism for life has been destroyed. And so the work and our medical role in that work is just beginning. With the amount of death we're going to see from preventable illness, from uncontrolled diabetes, from lack of access to insulin, and something that someone mentioned to me today that I think should be something that we look to is in this tight window that we have to really call out the fact that these dual-use items that the Israelis have forbidden us to bring in to Gaza, or to, maybe it's going to be like that with the West Bank. We have to use this window to challenge that and to get in these items that are so desperately needed, and to really challenge the narrative about the dual use.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
work is just beginning.
So
Just
I
beginning.
agree. As we all know, the ceasefire is very fragile, and we do not trust Israel. No genocidal country or nation or leader should be trusted. We know there is a good chance they can break the ceasefire any minute. That's why we urge the international community to deploy peacekeeping forces now to protect the children, to protect the civilians, the hospitals. We know that all Gazan people have no homes now and no shelters. We also urge the international community to send unlimited amount of aid, especially homes, shelters, and tents to protect the people in this cold winter. We also urge the international community to send special teams to take care of the unexploded weapons. There are tons and tons and tons of unexploded ammunition in Gaza now that the regular civilians and children, when they try to go back to their neighborhoods, they don't know how to deal with it, and there is a high risk on these people that these will explode in them. We urge the United Nations, we urge the international community to immediately deploy as much and as many teams for that are able to deal with these explosives and bombs before they can kill more and more children and civilians. Again, along with peacekeeping forces to protect the people there. Again, if history is any lesson, genocidal leaders, nations, countries do not stop on their own. Let's use this opportunity to send peacekeeping forces, international peacekeeping forces and regional forces to the people of Gaza to protect them and to remove the harm from their way. And they need a lot of help, a lot of tents, a lot of shelter, and a lot of food. We also demand the immediate rehabilitation of the healthcare system. We know that Gaza hospitals, most of them have been completely destroyed. The ones that are still running are barely able to do anything, big to help the amount of people and the number of injuries there. We urge also the immediate evacuation of all the tens of thousands of injured people who need complicated surgeries and complicated interventions that cannot be done in Gaza. We're trying to wait for our colleague, Dr. Mohammed Kuzais from Gaza, who's on mission there, and they are not allowed to leave by the Israeli forces. Hopefully, you'll be able to join us soon. In the meanwhile, we'll go back to Jenin. Dr. Mais. Dr. Mais, تفضلي. unmute yourself. افتح المايك الله يخليكي. I cannot hear you. مش سامعينك. افتح المايك لو سمحتي. انت muted.
اوكي سوري
ممتاز. ايوه.
بقول ندى موجودة ندى. اوكي دكتور، نرجع لجنين. يعني شو بدنا نعمل؟ هذا الوضع اللي يعني أنا جدا حزينة إنه يعني اللي يعني كل المظاهرات والاعتراضات في العالم عشان موضوع غزة يعني ما خلاهم يتعظوا، لا هيهم إجوا على جنين وهيهم بيحاولوا يعملوا نفس اللي صار في غزة. يعني والله أنا كتير يعني مصدومة.
So Dr. Mais is saying that they are really shocked that the world was silent on the genocide that was happening in Gaza. They are even more shocked that Israel is doing the same thing in Jenin now, and no one is lifting a finger. No one is trying or doing anything to try to stop this continuous and ongoing genocide of the native people of Palestine that is being committed by foreigners who came to this land from Europe, from other places, and they have been actively ethnically cleansing and destroying and genociding the native people of Palestine. تفضل يا أخت ميس.
يعني الوضع يعني تصور، يعني حكى لك ليث إشي، قال لك وإحنا بناخد وقفت سيارة باب المستشفى، يلا إسعاف، فكلنا ركضنا نجيب الجريح من السيارة، وهم بيفتحوا السيارة بطول الجريح، طبعا مش سيارة إسعاف، سيارة عادية يعني مدنية. الرصاص والله يا دكتور كان فوق راسنا كلنا. يعني أنا عمالني بحشد بالشباب اللي بالمستشفى، يلا ساعدوا، والرصاص موجود. يعني شو يعني ما في، وين حقوق الإنسان؟ وين حقوق الطفل؟ وين حقوق المريض؟ وين حقوق الناس اللي يعني ما في حقوق أبدا. والله يا دكتور هلأ لو يدخلوا يعني يرشوني أنا وجوزي يعني ويطلعوا، ولا حدا بيقول لهم يعني انتوا، ولا حدا بيحكي لهم ليش هيك عملتوا ابدا.
Yes, Dr. Mais is also saying that this is actually a pattern that I noticed even before this last wave of genocide in Gaza, that the Israeli forces don't just attack and kill people and injure people. They also attack anyone who tries to rescue them, and they start shooting at everyone, whether they are medics or ambulance or family members who are there. They start shooting at everyone because they want those who they shoot to bleed to death. And they have been doing this actually even before October 7. But since then, they have been doing it on a mass scale. Now, I think we have another colleague from Jenin join us. She's, I think, an attorney, Jinan.
جنان
أو
جنان
دكتور
كيفك؟
نضال، في سؤال بالشات عن جنين لما في وقت عن
Yeah,
المستشفى.
تفضل. What's the question, please?
Have there been any airstrikes, bombardments in Jenin, or is everything happening through land incursion?
في ضرب بالطيارات من جنين. ممكن الأخت جنان can answer this. أخت جنان
جنان تفضلي.
عارفين بحالك الله يخليك. أخت جنان لو سمحت مش سامعك، افتح المايك الله يخليكي. مش سامعينك.
جنان
جنان افتح المايك مش سامعينك. ان ميوت. سامعيتنا ولا لا؟ ان ميوت، ولو سمحتي ترجع على المحل اللي كنت فيه بالاول. كان
اوكي هلا سامعيني؟
يا سامعينك. ممكن ترجع المحل ما كنت بالاول، كان في ضوء احسن، كان شايفينك احسن من الاول.
انا سامعتكم منيح،
يا
تفضلوا.
ممكن ترجع محل ما كنت، لانه كان في ضوء كنا شايفينك
بس
احسن، هلا مش شايفينك.
اوكي لا انا راح اضوي محل ما بكون راح اضوي.
اوكي.
اضوي.
بس لانه لا ما بدي ازعج خالتي.
عارفين بحالك، الله يخليك يا
الحمد
ستي.
لله ايوه هيك.
لو سمحت عارفين
عم
بحالك.
تحضر شغلة عن اللي رايحين على الجنوب. ما
طيب
تفضلوا.
ست جنان، أنا اسمي الدكتور نضال جبور، أنا دكتور فلسطيني في أمريكا، وإحنا هنا جمعية أطباء ضد الإبادة من أمريكا. وإحنا بنحكي مع جنين لأنه كثير قلقانين على الوضع في جنين، وحابين تخبرينا شو بصير الوضع، كيف الوضع عندكم. عارفين بحالك بالأول لو سمحت.
أنا جينان جرار، أصلا كنت محامية، بعدين تركت هذا الشغل كله للعمل التطوعي. بشتغل بجمعية يعني أسسنا جمعية هلأ من أهم الجمعيات بجنين، اسمها جمعية جنين للمخلصين الخيرية. تقريبا زي كل الجمعيات دايما بيكون فيها أكثر عضو فعال واحد، يعني طبيعي هذا.
Our sister here, Jenin Jarrar, she's an attorney, retired attorney. Now she's working in an NGO, non-profit organization in Jenin. It's called the Jenin.
Sincerious.
ايش اللي اسمها بالانجليزي لو سمحتي؟
اسمها جنين Sincerious Foundation.
Thank you. Thank you. So what do you want to share with us about the situation, what's happening in Jenin now, please?
I don't know from where to start. Jenin now, it's I believe they're gonna do the same like what they did in Jabalia. They wanna, it looks that they wanna remove the camp. That's how it looks to us, that they don't want the camp in Jenin anymore. So most of the people who are in the camp, they left some of them to the villages around the camp, some of them to the houses around the camp. I think that some of them now, they are in the hospital, in Shifa Hospital, which is our
yes.
yeah. Of course, and in the other hospitals, but not in the big one because they close it almost. Now most of the people they transfer to you, Maisa, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the city is totally closed. No selling, no. Even if you want medicine, it's very hard to go out unless you are away from the middle of the city or from the camp. Even this is not safe. If you are lucky, you can do it. All of the stores are closed. No, the schools closed. Nothing. It's a dead city, totally dead city. And this time we scare more than any other time. No, I'm here in my aunt's house. I cannot go home for the last week. I don't know what to say. The people keep calling. They need bumpers. They need milk. They need food. They need bread. And it's very dangerous to send it to them. But we have to do it because this is our job as a foundation. Plus, the people keep calling us. They're sick people. They want us to take us to the hospital. We cannot deal with the other hospitals. We deal only with a Shifa because this is the only hospital they can wait for us till. Sometimes we pay, sometimes we didn't pay. It depends. Yes. So especially the woman who wanted to deliver the baby, we have to send it. We cannot take them anywhere. We take them to the Shifa hospital. The kids, when they have fever, we don't know what to say. It's not life at all. And it's every time we say this is the worst time, then there is worse and worse and worse. But this time is the most difficult and worst time. They burn the houses.
That's because of the impunity. Because when genocidal nations feel impune and no one is stopping them, they keep doing more and more crimes, and the crimes continue to get worse every time. Thank you, Sister Jenin, for sharing this.
دكتور معلش احكي شغله بسيطه.
لا تفضلي.
احنا وجمعيه جنين للمخلصين عاملين شراكه، يعني شو نوع الشراكه؟ انه اي طفل او اي ست بدها تعمل عمليه جراحيه بتروح على مستشفى الحكومي. للاسف جنين بس فيها مستشفى حكومي واحد بس، فلما بتروح
هلا ما في
بتسجل.
ميسة، ذكروه ممنوع هلا تدخلي او تطلعي عليه.
دكتور لما بتروح بتسجل بدها تعمل عملية، بقولوا لها ارجعي بعد 6 أشهر، بعطوها دور لبعد 6 أشهر أو طفل، فهم بيروحوا على جمعية جنين للمخلصين بقولوا لها يعني إحنا بحاجة إنه نعمل عملية وما معنا مصاري كتير. دورنا هون إحنا وجمعية جنين للمخلصين بتيجي جنان عنا على المستشفى بتقولنا خلونا نعمل العملية ومثلا ندفع لكم كل شهر إشي بسيط. إذا أنا بقدر أساعد وأحكي مع الأطباء ونعملها ديسكاونت كبير بننجح في هذا الموضوع. إذا لا بنقدر إحنا نعمل تسهيلات كتير كبيرة في الدفع. فهذا هو الشغل اللي إحنا بنعمله مع جمعية جنين للمخلصين.
شكرا ست ميس. So Dr. Mice is sharing that there is only one public hospital in Jenin that is not
Not anymore.
not able to take care of the
No,
needs of
there is the
people there.
building, but they close it because they take the tank that
And
no
the
electricity, no
last
gas.
week has completely shut down. The Israeli forces surrounded it. No one is allowed to go in or go out. There are two small private hospitals. One of them is Al Shifa Hospital, and they have been trying to make up for the fact that the public hospital is not able to serve people there. People are not allowed to go in or out. They are trying all what they can, but as we heard from the OR head team, that these two small hospitals are also running out of supplies, running out of medication, running out of anesthesia. And as our sister Jenin shared, that even the people who are asking for help, they're not able to move. No one is able to take them to the hospital because anyone that moves is a target. So the situation is very dire in Jenin. We are seeing the same Gaza situation being played and live streamed in front of all of our eyes. It is the impunity that Israel enjoys. It is the international system that is allowing this to happen, that is enabling them to continue this genocide. If Israel was held to account and the perpetrators of genocide held to account, this will not continue to happen. And our worst worries from as people who did study the genocide, and we know the psychology of the genocidal countries and nations. If they are not stopped by force, by sanctions, by crippling sanctions, they will continue to commit their crimes because they're not paying any price for it. And they are psychopathic. They don't see that what they're doing is wrong. They don't have any regard for human life, for the sanctity of human life. They don't have any regard for hospitals, for doctors, for nurses, for healthcare workers. For them, their life is the only thing that matters, and no one else in the world matters. This is a pathological and psychopathological mentality and mindset that allowed the Holocaust, that allowed every genocide since then, and that is allowing the genocide that's being committed against the Palestinians now. It is upon us as citizens of the world, as people of conscience all over the world, to continue to refuse and to amplify our voices and to unite, to connect with each other, expose their crimes, pressure our leaders, our governments to stop this mass slaughter. This madness must stop, and it will not stop until Israel pays a price for the crimes that is committed, unless its leaders pay a price, unless its soldiers and army generals pay a price, unless its media pay a price, and unless the Western media also pay a price for their complicity and their enablement of this genocide. Now, أخت جنان,
دكتور
anything else? تفضلي.
Okay, they said that they are done with the first step and they are going to the second and third. Oh, we want to know how many steps they have. How long is every step? Are we gonna go like Gaza 1 year and a half?
My God.
We don't know how many steps. They said they're done with the first step today, and tomorrow they're gonna start the second step. If this is the first step, what's gonna be the second step? They burn the houses. They transfer the families from their house. One of our members of the foundation for the last 6 days, he cannot even bring bread. He cannot go to the window. He said, "We forgot how the sun gonna be." So we don't know. We want to know how many steps still they have.
So, I mean, people are really worried for good reasons because
They're
they saw
scared.
Israel
They're
do
really
all this
scared.
in Gaza,
Yeah.
and they're worried that this fate is gonna face them in Jenin. They are worried that their plan is to raise the whole Jenin camp area and turn it to what they did in Jabalia. And unfortunately, Israel was able to do it in Jabalia, and no one stopped them. And our people concerns are very valid. And again, it's upon all of us to try to do more. Whatever we did is not stopping the genocide yet. This means we have to do more, not to quit, not to go back, not to turn the eyes away. If the genocide continues, this means that whatever we do, we have to double it, we have to triple it, we have to do 10 times more as united voice, all of us, to add and exert more pressure. All people of good conscience, anyone who continues to be silent is actually complicit in genocide, is actually legally culpable as being part of the genocide. Not speaking up, you have no excuse. No one in the world has an excuse to say, I did not know, I did not see. Maybe in previous genocides, maybe 20, 50, 100 years ago, when there was no media, no live streaming of the genocide, people could have the excuse that we did not know. But in this time, and for the last 15 months, a live stream genocide in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Jenin, in Lebanon, everyone saw it. No one has an excuse to say, I did not know, I did not see. Everyone is culpable, both morally, ethically, legally, and in the medical community, for the medical institutions in the West that continue, and they have been claiming that they are the moral compass of medicine and medical ethics. We are telling them that you failed. You failed humanity, you failed medicine, you failed our profession. We are, as doctors, as nurses, as healthcare workers of the world, are embarrassed from you. We are shocked at your complicity in genocide. We are shocked at your double standards. We are shocked at your racism. We are shocked at you being not just silent, but being an enablers of the genocide. And you are censoring people who try to speak up against the genocide as part of the genocide enablement complex. The medical institutions and medical organizations in the West are a tool of genocide. They need to be dismantled. Medicine has to regain its core value, its core mission, which is the protection of the sanctity of life, every life, whether it's in the US, whether it's in Detroit, whether it's in Jenin, whether it's in Gaza, whether it's in Rohingya, everywhere. That is the goal. That is the moral obligation of medicine and healthcare professionals. And we insist on our moral compass, on our moral obligations. That's why we are calling out the American Medical Association, the American Pediatric Association, the American Psychological and Psychiatric Association, all the medical organizations in the United States, in Canada, in the West, to stop their complicity, to stop their silence, to advocate for life, to demand the immediate release of our healthcare workers who are being detained in Palestine by the Israeli genocidal forces, to release our colleague Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya and his colleagues who are all being detained illegally, who are being tortured. Many of our colleagues, the healthcare workers, have been murdered and have been raped in these detention and torture camps. Um, for the American Medical Association to come back after 10 years or 20 years to apologize and to say they did not have the right stand when the genocide of the Palestinian people, when the genocide and the mass slaughter of children was happening, when the genocide of the doctors and the nurses has been happening, and to apologize 10 years down the road is not going to be enough. If they don't have a strong stand now, we are going to dismantle them completely and start newer medical organizations that does mean what they say to protect life, the sanctity of life, equally everywhere in the world. Dr. Karama Hawash, thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
هلو مرحبا السلام عليكم كيفكم أهل جنين شكرا لوجودكم
So, Dr. Karama Hawash is she's the co-founder of Doctors Against Genocide. Dr. Karama وأنا احنا مؤسسين هاي الجمعية أطباء ضد الإبادة. معلش تأخرت علينا اليوم بس هلا she's joining us. بس حبيت أعرفكم عليها أهلنا في جنين. تفضل كرام.
Yeah, I just thank you, Nidal. I don't think we talked about this, but we do have a day on the Hill on the 19th of February, and that is our Advocacy Day. We are hoping to have as many people join us as possible. We will be there ourselves. And if you want to order your white coat so that we can all look together, this is a white coat. You have a very short opportunity to order it. We have our work cut out for us, especially under this new administration. We still need to speak up and we still need to organize and be active. This is the time to do that. And this is not the time to retreat. So please join us. Please join our actions. Thank you for being here with us during this webinar. Thank you, Jenin. Thank you, Gaza. I don't know, did Muhammad come to the webinar from Gaza?
I'm still waiting on him. I think his connection is bad. He's been trying to connect in the last half an hour or so. Maybe give him a few more minutes, but if not, so Dr. Muhammad, if you want to explain his situation, Karama, please.
Dr. Muhammad is a pediatrician from Colorado. He is there with a dozen doctors and nurses who went on a mission. And unfortunately, they're supposed to be back in the United States by today, and they have been denied exit from the north of Gaza. We are waiting to hear from them so that so we know that they are safe. Their patients in the United States are waiting for them. Some of them are surgeons, and they have their patients scheduled for surgeries that they are not going to get because the Israelis are not allowing the doctors to leave. In addition, the missions are not allowed to go in, which is another problem. So now the doctors are stuck there, but the new doctors on the new missions are not able to get in. This is a thing that we absolutely have to address. I think this is the time for us to speak to our colleagues in our hospitals. It is not the time to stay silent. Healthcare is under attack. Healthcare is under attack. It's under attack. It's under attack in Jenin. It is under attack in Gaza. Even the American medical doctors who are on mission are also under attack. And the medical in the medical institutions, we have seen that speaking up can get you to be under attack. So this is the time to protect each other and to speak up for each other. And we want everybody to join us in this work. We need every single voice, and we need every single brain, and we need every single advocacy effort. So join us, and we will continue to have our weekly webinars every week. Join us on the Hill on the 19th of February. Please look at the petitions that we have put out for the medical institutions. And also we continue to do our work, which is the campaign of Not Another Child, Not Another Hospital. This has not stopped. It's a continuous campaign, and it is meant to invite our colleagues, our institutions to help us raise our voices to demand that not another child and not another hospital are attacked anywhere in the world, and especially in Palestine, which is brutally attacked everywhere. We have another campaign, which is Sick from Genocide. Sick from Genocide is because we have been all feeling sick, whether we are in Gaza, whether we are in Jenin, whether we are in Boston, whether we are in Detroit. we have been witnessing the slaughter of children and the attacks on hospitals while we're not able to stop it. And this has been a terribly difficult time for all of us, in addition to being unable to help the victims. So we have started the Sick from Genocide campaign that is centered on pop-up clinics that are called Kamal Adwan pop-up clinics for treatment from sick from genocide. I am in Boston, and we are organizing one in Boston over the next few days. And there are other locations. We will continue to update our members and our followers through social media. Please follow us. Please join us. This is the time to join, really. So I think Ribhi is putting some links in the chat. And if you have any questions or any ideas, please reach out to us. We are looking forward to hearing from everyone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Karama. We're not leaving. I think Muhammad is trying to join us now. I just talked to him. He's going to be joining us from Gaza. Muhammad is the lead of Doctors Against Genocide chapter in Colorado. And Dr. Muhammad is here. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. We're really worried about you. Dr. Muhammad and his colleagues went on a mission, as Dr. Karama Hawash mentioned, to Gaza 2 weeks ago to help the children there. And now they are being informed that they cannot leave. They're not being given the access to leave after their mission is over. Dr. Muhammad Kuzais, he's a Syrian American doctor. He's a Doctor Against Genocide chapter lead in Colorado. We are proud of you. We are happy to hear from you. We're glad to see you that you are safe. Please share with us, Muhammad, what's happening, what's going on, what did you see in Gaza, what's happening now?
All right, so the first 9 days that we were here, Assalamualaikum, everybody. The first 9 days that we were here, there was still the war going on. And so regularly, during the day, generally there wouldn't be as many bombings, I should say. There's still bombings, they're just kind of further away, focused more on the north. There was a couple times when bombs would fall close to the hospitals we were working in. I think the closest one measured was about 200, 250 meters away from us.
Which hospital are you in now, Muhammad?
Right now, I'm in the, the Patient Friends Benevolent Society. Asdiqa al-Maid. It's called Asdiqa al-Maid in Arabic.
Where is it in Gaza? Where is it in Gaza exactly, if you don't mind?
It is in North Gaza.
Okay.
It's towards the area of the Ramal neighborhood, which used to be one of the nicest neighborhoods in Gaza, right by all the banks, right by all the national monuments and stuff, and actually right by the parliament. But all of that is now since gone. The hospital that I'm in has actually been bombed twice, and then they went back and they rebuilt it. And then I'm not actually sleeping here. I'm sleeping in a different hospital. The hospital I had been sleeping in was the most northward hospital. It's called the Khidmat Am, the General Services Hospital. And so that one was the surgical site for any patients who survived mass casualty incidents. And so the first 9 days, regularly we would just be sitting there. And then towards the evening, around 5, 6 o'clock after the sunset, you would hear the bombing pick up. And then you would know that it's going to be a good or a bad night based off of how loud the noises were. I am not a surgeon, but I would just go down to the OR because you get to a point where you just need hands. When 8, 10, 12 patients show up, some are missing limbs, some, have open chest wounds, open abdominal wounds, things like that. You just need hands. And so I've helped operate on kids. I've helped operate on adults. I've run the gamut.
You're a pediatrician.
I am, yeah. I'm a general pediatrician. I do inpatient pediatrics. I do not do surgery usually.
But you are forced to participate in
Yeah, mashallah, like the doctors in Gaza do amazing work, and they are honestly the ones who've been keeping the people alive. We are just here kind of to try and help boost them. And one of the things I found out after we got here, to help protect them. the Israeli military has no problem bombing the hospital when it's just filled with Palestinian doctors. However, when they know that there are foreign medical aid workers in there, they do tend to try and avoid it. In the Indonesian hospital, before they moved in and took over the hospital, they actually forced the Indonesian medical mission to leave the hospital and walk about 3 kilometers on foot. Before they took over Kamal Adwan, they stopped allowing medical missions to go to Kamal Adwan. And so a lot of the doctors we saw were like, we don't even want you to do anything. Just the fact that you guys are here and are able to be here and have not been kicked out is a good sign, is a sign that we're hopefully not going to get invaded, especially with us being the last hospital kind of closest to the north. It was a big deal to the surgeons, operating day and night to save these people.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad.
Yeah.
So we heard the
الله
news
يكون بعونكم دكتور، الله يساعدكم.
يا
الله
الله.
يجزيكم
كلنا
خير جميعاً.
بالهوا سوا، جنين وغزة، جنين وغزة.
إن شاء الله.
Thank you, Dr. May. So we heard the news that your mission, the time for your mission was over a couple of days ago, and you were planning to, but now you are not being given the permission to leave and go back to your duties and surgeries and appointments for the patients here in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, there's what is it? We're 11 doctors and 2 nurses on this mission. And so these missions are not just for physicians only. If anybody is not a physician, you're always still welcome to apply. The people of Gaza will gladly welcome you and treat you with utmost kindness. The situation that happened, though, is our mission finished, and even though we initially crossed the Netzarim corridor during what, I guess the Israel would consider wartime, we were successfully able to cross it and get into North Gaza. After the war has stopped and there's been a ceasefire, part of the agreement is that they dismantle the Netzarim corridor and that an outside military contractor who is from the U.S. Starts setting up like inspection points there and everything. And so initially, we were told that we can't cross because they're dismantling the Netzarim corridor and they don't have any way to inspect us or anything like that. And it was just weird to me because like we'd already been inspected once. We've already been approved. We're a healthcare mission, and like I saw what the Netzarim corridor's inspections looked like. We were never physically inspected. We literally were just stopped and inspected by a drone and spoke and showed off our passports to a camera in a concrete building. And that was it. And then some people drove by us in Humvees just firing their guns to try and scare us. And so the entire situation is a little bit weird. And then now, after yesterday's hostage trade, the government of Israel is making a big deal that one of the 4 hostages that was released was not the one that they had thought was going to get released. And so they're not going to open the Netzarim corridor. And so there's people, thousands of people who have been lined up on the corridor waiting for it to finally open so that they can be reunited with their loved ones. I've talked to like 4 doctors here who are like, yeah, I was engaged, but then, at the start of the war, I sent my wife, to her family in the South, and like, I haven't seen her in a year and a half. And like, that's traumatic in and of itself. And so these people want to see their loved ones. Like the past 3 to 4 days since they've said that they're going to open the corridor and then back down, the hospital has been relatively empty. Stores have been relatively closed. Everybody's at home preparing their home. Everybody's at the corridor waiting to greet their loved ones. And so they ended up not opening it. And not only that, Palestinians who were close to the corridor, it was still defined as a red zone. And so they were shot at, they were targeted. And so because of all of this, we are also not getting permission to cross the Netzarim corridor. We're going through a lot. I have, my own responsibilities, my own patients that I am responsible to in the U.S. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like it's no more than what everybody else here is dealing with. They've dealt with a genocide for a year and a half, and now when they're finally so close to being reunited with their families, there just seems to be like unnecessary difficulty that's being added to it. As Americans, it's been shocking to see that, when I reached out to the embassy has told us in no uncertain terms, we have no control over the Israelis, for example. We can't do anything. That's been really surprising, especially Americans on a medical mission. And so I'm not sure when we'll finally get to leave. hopefully tomorrow, hopefully the day after. We keep getting told, oh, it's going to be the day after. Oh, it's going to be the day after. Oh, it's going to be the day after. And so far, we were supposed to go south Wednesday of last week. And so today is Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. It's been about 5 days since. And so, alhamdulillah, we've been able to continue working here. Actually, I'm here with some of my colleagues. They're inside here. I can switch my camera, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. They're inside over here doing a surgical case for a kid who has a neck abscess. And so these are cases that we would not have been able to do otherwise, if we had left. Alhamdulillah, there is a
Show us around, Dr.
Gazan ENT doctor right there who's working, and one from our medical mission, and then another anesthesiologist from our medical mission, and they're working on this patient. So alhamdulillah, this is just the surgical ward. And so alhamdulillah, we're able to do work. I'll show you like what an empty operation room looks like, but I think everything else has patients in it. That's Aslam, one of our fabulous mission doctors. Aslam, you want to say hi to the Doctors Against Genocide people?
What? Oh,
Hi.
hey, what's up? How's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing well.
MashaAllah, this man has probably saved more lives than anybody on the mission.
Thank you for
MashaAllah.
going to Gaza. Thank you for helping the people. You are our heroes.
No. This is our honor to be here.
Doctors Against
We're
Genocide
honored to
and
be
the
here.
people of
All right.
Palestine. I'm grateful.
No
We're
worries.
grateful for you guys. We're grateful for your bravery, for your moral ethics and obligations.
Are you guys done getting your stigma
I
already?
gotta run back to the door, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Getting your stigma? Are you guys done already?
He just wanted
Oh, okay.
So they
Sorry.
first came to the Palestinians, and no one defended the Palestinians. Now they are coming to the American doctors, and they are blocking their space. They're not allowing them to move. And I wouldn't be surprised at one point they will start targeting American doctors like they did with the Palestinian doctors before. And this is how the pathology of the genocide happens. They came for the Palestinians. We were not Palestinians. That's why we did not do anything for them. Then they came for the Arabs. We were not Arabs, so we said, let it go. Then they came for the Palestinian doctors and they killed them, and we were not Palestinians, so we did not do anything. Now they are coming for us. These are sick people. This is a sick country. This is a sick mentality. It has to be stopped. We need to, all of us, join Doctors Against Genocide, join every movement that is, focused on ending this genocide before it comes to your turn. By the time you wait until it's to your turn, there will be nobody else left to protect you. So if you really want a better world for all of us, everyone should join, should exert every pressure they have to stop this genocidal, psychopathic country and its supporters in the United States from killing doctors, nurses, children. They've been doing it live stream for 15 months. What else are we waiting for? And for those who are silent, for those who are turning the other way, your turn will come if you don't join us now. And by the time you wait for your turn, we will not be there to help you. So please help us so we can help you. And thank you, Dr. Muhammad. We are really grateful as Palestinians for you, for your team to be there. We honor, your sacrifice. We honor the risk that you all put yourself at to go and help the people, our people in Gaza. And we know how much trouble does it add to you, the fact that everything is uncertain now. You don't know when are you going to leave. You don't know whether you're going to be leaving or not. You don't know if you're going to be safe or not. So the people of Palestine will not forget this. And let's not forget our colleague, Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya.
Absolutely.
Let's keep the talk.
Absolutely. We actually went to Command Adwan Hospital, and it's insane. And I've posted briefly about just the way the North has looked, but inshallah, when I come back, I'll tell you guys about it. It's just there's nothing left in Command Adwan Hospital, and you can tell it used to be a children's hospital before the war because if anybody's done pediatric care, you know all the pediatric sizes for tools and equipment, and it's just all there on the wall, all burned. All the plastic is melted together. It's a level of war crime that is not I have not seen or heard of. But no, in response to what you're saying, Dr. Jabour, it is absolutely my honor and my privilege to get to be here with the Palestinian people. Again, they are a strong people who don't need us, and they will survive and stay in solidarity with one another even without us. But it is an honor and a privilege to get to be here and just to participate and live and learn with them, alhamdulillah. And I hope everybody has this chance. Gaza needs doctors, and Gaza needs nurses and engineers and every specialty. And you guys will see it's good for you too. It's not just for the people here. I'm gonna hop back into the case, but thank you all so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Stay safe. Inshallah, we'll hear back from you soon. And I'm going to tell this to people who have no roots. I'm going to tell this to countries that were built on genocide. I want to tell this to people who think that everything is life is a business transaction, that we, the Palestinian people, are dignified people. Our roots are deep in history. We existed before your countries were even a thing. For anyone, especially President Trump, to think of us as just another transaction that he can undertake goes against everything we, the Palestinians, or all dignified people in the world stand for. We really acknowledge your contribution to the ceasefire, and we urge you to continue on this path of dignity, peace, equality for everyone. Hold those who committed the genocide and the perpetrators of genocide accountable, whether they are in Israel or in the administration here that preceded you. We urge you to be on the right side of history. You say that you are a man of peace and you want to make peace. We all know that peace does not exist without justice. We know that justice is the most foundational prerequisite for any peace. And justice means that all Palestinians, every Palestinians who continue to be there on the historic Palestine, or people who were forcibly displaced, need to go back to their home with full right of return, full human rights, full ownership of their land, and everyone else comes second. That is justice, and that is the only way to build peace on. Anything else is not justice. It's not going to be peaceful. We really urge the coming administration to learn from history and to stop their racism, their supremacy, their sense of entitlement, and to stop following fake books and fake history that has been manufactured by Christian Zionism and by genocidal Zionism, and to go back to the world where everyone in the world is equal, everyone has the same human rights, everyone is treated the same. We need to build a better world, not to go back with a fake history that has been revisioned and manufactured for the last 3,000 years. We, as Doctors Against Genocide, demand the complete protection of healthcare workers. Please join our campaigns, Not Another Child, Not Another Hospital. We want an end to the genocide that continues to be perpetrated now in Gaza and in Jenin. Please join the Sick from Genocide campaign. We need the release of our colleagues, Dr. Hussam of Safiya, his friends, his colleagues. We need the perpetrators to be held accountable. We need peace-keeping forces deployed immediately to protect the civilians before Israel breaks the ceasefire and starts the bombing again. We need explosive teams, international explosive teams, to go to Gaza immediately to take care of the unexploded munitions there, to protect the children, because we feel that the children are going to be the biggest victims of these American unexploded bombs that the American people paid with their money. Dr. Hawash?
Yeah, thank you. I was just looking at some of the questions. So there are several questions about the Sick from Genocide clinic. The Sick from Genocide pop-up clinics are meant to raise awareness about the genocide and to provide a space for us and for our colleagues to join, to organize, to end the genocide. We identified that the treatment for sick from genocide is by ending the genocide. And how do we do that? We do that by organizing together, by putting pressure on the policymakers. And our trip to Geneva is a way of us to treat the sick from genocide symptoms. We are going there to take an active role in demanding this reversal of this genocide. So when we had it in over the last few weeks, we had several medical providers, psychiatrists, internists, and there were students who came. And it is meant to create the space for organizing together and for providing each other with mental and mental support and also actual support in organizing. So that's the concept from it. We will continue to do that and we will continue to do Not Another Child, Not Another Hospital campaign. And hopefully we will give our members the tools and be more organized and hopefully more effective, because just like Dr. Jbour said, they will come for the Palestinians, and if they do not stop, they will come for the rest of us. So we
Yes.
have to be aware. This is the time to be brave, and this is the time to be active, and this is not the time to hide. I think Dr. Jbour, did you speak about the winter drive that we did and the beds? Oh, maybe he's not there. I will do it. So a part of our mission as Doctors Against Genocide is to provide support for the communities affected by genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. We succeeded in sending 25 medical beds, but Gaza needs way more. They asked us for 50 more beds. The 50 more beds will cost about $65,000. So we are hoping to raise this amount as soon as possible to be able to send more beds. We also have raised money for the community of the Rohingya that has been affected by genocide, and the young men and young women in Rohingya are not afforded the chance to actually get a higher education. But some of them did associate degrees, and we supported their graduation ceremony. We will invite them to speak again and tell us more about their community. It is very important for us that we support communities affected by genocide everywhere in the world. We do that by centering the voices of the community itself. We never take the lead on how we support them. We ask them to take the lead, and we basically try our best to give them what they need. So I think we answered all the questions that we have. If you have any more questions, you can always reach us on our website, and you can reach us by joining the coalition and by asking us questions. There is a place where you can reach us on info@doctorsagainstgenocide.org. We are very interested in actually building the coalition all over the country, in the United States and Canada and nationally, and we will provide more information about how to do that. Please stay engaged, stay hopeful. We are strong together. We are not going to give up on Jenin. We are not going to give up on Gaza. We are not going to give up on our friends there, that we just met today. They become personal friends. We are not going to give up on Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya. And these are the people who keep us going. So thank you everyone for your attention. And I'll send you updates from Geneva.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Jbour,
Thank you.
I want him to come say goodbye. He's probably in the clinic. Anyway, so thank you for your attention again, and I think we can end, Ribhi.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you
Yeah.
everybody for joining, and we do this every week on Sunday, so keep an eye out for your email. You should be hearing more about the next meeting.
And
Okay.
it will be on YouTube and will be on LinkedIn, so you can, if for people who did not watch the whole thing, you can go back and watch it. And please share with your friends, share with your colleagues. We really are all about raising awareness, and we feel that the platform that supports our colleagues in Palestine is extremely important. So please share the word, and thank you for everything you do, everyone, and have a nice rest of your Sunday. Goodbye.
Okay,
Bye bye.
goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Ma'as-salama.
ديري
Bye
بالكم.
bye.
مع
Bye
السلامة.
bye.